Okay. Hello, everybody. I'm Jason Wilson, and I think called the OuterBody Experience Lab. 17 years ago, a collaborator, friend, and I, we wanted to test this question of whether the sense of sight alone could determine the position of your sense of self. So we wanted to find a way to pull your sense of sight out of your body and put it somewhere else and have it compete with all your other senses. And we actually didn't think it would happen. We thought that no, of course, like your smell and your taste and your touch and your hearing and your proprioception would all like significantly outweigh your sense of sight. So we set up this setup that I'm wearing now. Some video goggles that are getting a signal from a camera. So that camera over there is all I can see from right now. I'm seeing myself on the edge of the stage, and I can see a little bit of the screen here. And we set up an environment where we lived in a gallery space for a week under these conditions. We never took them off. We wanted to give ourselves the best possible chance because we were skeptical it would work at all. And it actually worked pretty well. Like easily within the first day, we were literally feeling like you feel like you're living in a black room looking at a TV, and on the TV is a person that is responding, like kind of a puppet of you. You move your arm and he moves his arm. So it does depend a lot on the circumstances, the activities, how activated the other senses are. Wow, what is that? Can somebody go turn that camera a little bit more towards the screen, please? And maybe... Yeah, maybe a little closer. Thank you. Okay, cool. That's the playing catch. So that first thing happened years ago. And I kind of, it lurked in the back of my mind. I kept wanting to redo it, but I wanted to make it participatory. Instead of me being on exhibit, I wanted to allow people to play with this. The gear we used back then, it wasn't wireless, it wasn't even battery powered, so we were lugging around these like huge electronic dreadlocks that were tethering us, and it was a real pain. So start reimagining what kinds of activities could happen. So this one we were playing catch, with like a big yoga ball, so like the alignment can be really interesting and bizarre. So this is two people wearing the goggles. This is somebody climbing a tree while wearing them. This is somebody climbing over their car while wearing them. Kind of just literally freestyling, like let's just play, let's put this stuff on and play. This one is, there's a piece of plexiglass, and there was a drawing on one side of the plexiglass, and she's seeing a view that's pretty approximate to this photograph and trying to trace the thing. But like when you're looking into the front of a video camera, your motions are reversed, so it takes this immense amount of concentration. This was kind of the beginning we realized that the type of activity really has a lot to do with the sensation of where you feel like yourself is existing. If it's incredibly, takes a lot of visual concentration, you kind of tune out the rest of your senses, and paying attention like moment by moment by moment and really being careful about what you're seeing. So something, what is that image? Oh, this is a maze, right? So this is something that we had set up a maze and thinking like, oh, the maze is perfect because there's no way you can do it from physical memory. You really have to watch which way you go, decide. Everybody's making completely wrong turns the whole time and setting up these little cheats. Some people would walk with like little tiny shuffling things. That was a pretty good tactic. And some people just keep kind of doing this to figure out which way is left and right. But something like doing a hula hoop is the opposite. It's purely based on muscle memory. There's nothing visual about it. So while you can do that experience and it might look interesting to see yourself hula hooping, you're kind of cutting that experience off from its potential. This is a photo booth, so people wearing them inside of a photo booth. We tried a ping pong flip. This, you can't see the ping pong here, but this is a new like hipster ping pong place in New York. And this is the proprietor there. So we tried ping pong, and it was impossible because the ball is so small and moving so fast. I mean, we spent an hour and maybe like hit one ball back. Totally impossible. Nobody even tried to unicycle. And then everybody wants to play with the camera. Everybody wants to move the camera. Everybody wants to activate the camera. What is it like to see yourself from another person's perspective, not just this objectified kind of static viewpoint? So we also, we're just kind of dabbling and playing. What is it? These two people are seeing the exact same thing, staring at each other. I really can't see what's on this one. Can somebody tell me what's on this image?
The lady in the clouds.
Oh, it's like a reflection. And, okay, so this was, she's inside of a storefront, and I'm outside the store on the sidewalk looking through. So this kind of, you don't even have to be in the same room. And that disoriented her so much just psychically that she had to rip them off. Like, it's too much. There's the reflection of the camera and the clouds and herself, and this real sense like you're looking at somebody else. And when you start, sometimes in the park, if you're like moving the camera and you go through some long, tall grass, or hold it up high and go through some low-hanging branches, people will completely freeze and like, hold on, it's almost like the way that a visceral reaction can locate you in your body. That kind of thing is a visual simulation of a visceral experience, but purely through the visual sense. So it pauses everybody. This interesting thing where just putting boxes on your heads while you're wearing the goggles or paper bags is such a bizarre feeling. You feel it, you hear it. We're so used to this idea of like darkness descending over your eyes and like, I can't see anymore, but it doesn't change your vision at all whatsoever. So walking around like that is exactly the same as walking around like this. This, I also can't really see this one, I'm sorry. Did somebody say? Okay, so this is my son Tabor. Kids excel at this stuff. And I just speculate that it's because they don't have as many habits that they have to overcome. So they love playing with it, and they're really good naturally and creative. This is my daughter, like really investigating her own face from different angles. So it's pretty interesting. So then I've just been playing around, and then we got invited to make something for this art festival that happens in San Francisco called the Lost Horizon Night Market, and it's a guerrilla art festival in a bunch of box trucks that happen underneath an abandoned freeway somewhere, and nobody knows where until the last minute, and there's like 20 trucks. And so we designed a game specifically to try to maximize throughput. There's like 2,000 visitors to that night, and so we want to get as many as possible through there. And so we just developed this kind of Connect 4 game with these cardboard boxes where you compete against somebody and you just have to stack the black or the white cubes in a way to get 4 in a row. And to also maximize throughput, we decided that taking turns was too slow, so it was like a race, just basically go nuts. And it got kind of wild. And some people really got rowdy, and it was pretty fun. So we had, over 100 games ran through that night, and videotaped them all, and we're posting them. Does that mean 3 minutes left? Does that mean 3 minutes left? Okay. Thank you. So that's kind of where we're at, and actually I've got during the gala tonight, after the next session at 5, I've set up this game out here in the lobby, so everybody can come play. It'll be open for an hour and a half. And we've got a slightly different twist on it, but same setup, same gear. So definitely come by and play. So where we're at now, we're kind of just dabbling like what's next. So been talking to people from all different worlds and, you know, like, okay, random ideas, but I want to start testing, like, how could yoga kind of fit into it? How could climbing fit into this? How could...
Birdie band.
Yeah, like, yeah, kind of playground, play equipment kind of stuff. You know, light painting, sorry. Dinner parties, where you all have to be on one side of the table to face the camera. Skydiving. What is this one? Oh, like optical illusions, so immersive optical illusions. Therapeutic, maybe this is like an example of like couples therapy, like, you know, sort of being able to kind of get outside of yourself for people who have trouble like actually stepping outside of their own perspective. And then maybe that will lead to something that, you know, we can't really show here. So yeah, that's about it. I'm wrapping up. This is sort of, we're in the meditation phase, so you know, come play with us, get on the mailing list. That's it. I would love to collaborate and invite. The other part is kind of thinking of the lab like a place for artists to come who might have an idea of something to test out. So I'd love to collaborate and work together. So yeah, that's about it.